John Blaze. John Blaze in the Philippines, whose link I'm going to put as the pinned comment in today's live stream, because John Blaze is not only is he very generous, but he is also more of a part of the Philippines blogging genre because of his ties to the Philippines, him being in fact married for now going on 2+ years, his wife owning several properties in the Philippines, and John and his wife just bought a huge property together, and they're building a huge house on the property. They've cleared the land. They are down to the very last piece of paperwork to make it officially Mr. and Mrs. Blaze's property. And his investment is much greater than any other investment property that any other blogger has that I know of. It's in the multi-millions of pesos for the property and for the house that's about to be built. The biggest investment from a foreigner in the Philippines genre that I know. So we're going to go to John Blaze's channel right now, and I'm going to show you his channel and show you his video uploads, and we're going to get to that right this moment. Okay, now let's go over to John Blaze's channel right here. This is the Blazers. If you're a Blazer, if you're not a Blazer, I'm going to put the link in the description box below here. Oh, this is the wrong video. I'm on the wrong video. This is the right video. Okay, so we're going to go to today's live stream. And I'm going to put the link in the description box. And then we're going to the link to John Blaze's channel. And then we're going to pin that link to, okay, let's pin the link. Okay, how can I get that? Why can't I get that? Okay, this is, YouTube is doing all kinds of stuff with the comments, the way the page shows up. So this is John Blaze's channel. I suggest you subscribe. Now let's go take a look at John Blaze's channel. Right here. Nope, that's not it. Right here. Yes, that's it with the green. So John Blaze is a hidden face on YouTube. He had an agreement with everybody. Once he reaches 1,000 subscribers, he will show his face. And he has not reached that goal, which is very difficult to do in the Philippine genre, because what I've noticed is the maximum amount of subscribers most people get that are new channels in the Philippines is somewhere between 300 and 500. And that's all the people that there are in the Philippines YouTube community. There's just not a lot of people interested in the YouTube community other than about 500 people. And not most of those people don't comment. But let's look at some of John Blaze. He's a very, very, very good cook. He's a very good cook. So he makes, and he has top of the line cooking. Oh, God, the stuff that John cooks on and the stuff that John cooks with. This is Corning, a high heat Corning glassware. This is top of the line glassware. And he cooks on top of a commercial grade home style stove, which you may or may not be able to see in this video. But he also has a wood burning stove that cost $5,000 US. So John Blaze is a man of many, many talents, but also well-versed in the English language, well-versed in communication skills, and has one of the top, in my opinion, one of the top jobs that you could have in this world. He flies a dual-rotor helicopter, and he puts out forest fires. So let's just let's look at a couple of more shorts. He has some shorts where he's putting in some work. This one, he's dumping water onto, this is his helicopter here, and he's dumping water, 8,000 pounds, 8,000 gallons of water per pickup onto the forest fire, the leading edge of the fire. There he goes. There's his dump, 8,000 gallons. Let's go back. We'll find another video of him mastering the art of flight in his helicopter. He has many videos. I mean, that is a prestigious job. The training that John has in helicopter piloting is an, you know, it's astounding. People think that flying a helicopter is easier than flying a plane, but it's not necessarily like that. To get a pilot's license back in 1990 would cost about $6,000 US. To get a helicopter's license was closer to $14,000. To buy a small four-seater Cherokee Warrior 2 would have been about $30,000 used. To buy a helicopter was closer to $300,000. So there's a lot more work involving the piloting of a helicopter than the piloting of an aircraft. Any pilot would agree. So here is John checking engine conditions in the chopper. And this is, in fact, John Blaze in the left seat. Looks like he's about ready to take off. And the left seat means the pilot seat. For those of you who are not familiar with aircraft terminology, the left seat is the pilot, the right seat is the co-pilot. That's just the way it is. It always has been like that throughout the traditional flight of training. That's John Blaze's hand right there. That's the hand of the Blaze. And that's why I suggest you become Blazers, so you can expand, I say, expand your horizons. Okay, now that video is over. And now let's look at some of John's farm equipment. Not only is he a pilot, but he's also a heavy equipment operator, tractor operator, farm equipment operator. He has more talent than 99% of the people probably in the world with all of his skill sets, tractors, bobcats, flight training, helicopter pilot training. And now he's a commercially tagged helicopter pilot to fight forest fires, not only in America, but other countries as well. So why am I posting this video? Well, of course, I'm posting this video for multiple of reasons, but one, John and I have been friends now going on 5 years. And yesterday he did something extraordinary. John also has horses, the little Diddy horse right here. He owns horses. He had a cattle ranch. He just sold off his herd because of the new restrictions on meat. This is one of his, I think he has 2 horses on the ranch. He kept the horses, and he's feeding them Cheez-Its. They're not so keen on Cheez-Its. And you'll know the Blaze hand by the rubber ring he wears. He doesn't wear a metal ring. No intelligent person that's a mechanic wears jewelry of any sort. Not necklaces, not rings during work or during their actions that they do during the course of the day. Actually, wearing jewelry in the airline industry was frowned upon for safety reasons going back to when I got my A&P license. So jewelry was not allowed. Pretty much they told you to take that stuff off, put it in your locker. I don't know what the restrictions are now, but it's a good idea to not wear jewelry because it's just not safe to work with tools in the industry. And most people that have had accidents with rings on their fingers, the accident damage from something hooking onto your ring could be as severe as losing the finger. And without the ring, it might be a simple gouge above your second knuckle. So these are stuffed shells Fazio style. This is one of my favorite videos. And this is his idea of torture. This is stuffed shells Fazio style. Look at this, Fazio. And that reminds me, ladies and gentlemen, I am on day 35 of a water fast only. And we'll talk about that in this video. John Blaze is harassing Michael Thomas Fazio. So he also has a really cool video of he had it put in last year, a $5,000 US wooden stove. Let's see if we can find that. That's impressive because I had a $10 potbelly stove. Or maybe it's in a video. I had a $10 potbelly stove that I used to cook all my meals on back in the 70s in the wintertime. They actually cook quite well. Potbelly stove will boil water in seconds, just like a gas stove. So let's look for that video of that stove. I don't see it. I'm looking. I'm still looking. I don't think I passed it. I just don't see it. That's his kitchen stove. Anyway, it's a wood-burning stove with all the doodads, and the price of the stove was $5,000 US. Very impressive. Not only does it heat the house, but it's got blowers in it, and you can cook on it. It also has an internal oven in the stove for making roasts and things like that. And we're not going to be able to find that video. So let's go back to my video, and I will post Louis Pagan Pants. Miko says Louis Pagan Pants. Well, Scott Del Fuego was in the house. Scott Del Fuego, my friend. Okay, so Scott is in fact confirming what I said about wearing jewelry. Only time to wear jewelry is when you don't use tools and you don't have to worry about your hand You could be climbing over something simple like just jumping over a 2-foot fence and the ring gets hung up on the top of the fence. It'll break your finger at a bare minimum. It's possible. Scott says, my friend pulled his finger off the bone from his ring like a corn dog off a stick. So that is possible. So when I worked on getting my A&P jet mechanics license, there were no jewelry was allowed in the shop at all. Okay, there are very strict rules in aviation industry. One is no jewelry on your hands at all, period. You go into the shop with the jewelry on, the teacher just tells you to take it off. No chains on the neck, and no wrist bracelets. Your shirts, if they are loose fitting like this, they would take it and put tape around your shirt sleeve, tape, and tape it off. If you were going to use the drill press or a lathe, no loose clothing at all. There are strict regulations when you're a jet mechanic or training to be a jet mechanic. No loose clothing. And if you have a sleeve that's a little bit hanging off, recommended to put tape around your sleeve and tighten it up. So that's true. And that's why John doesn't wear a wedding ring. But going back to John has more of an investment in the Philippines than any other blogger that I know of. By far. I won't tell you what he invested into the Philippines, but it's more with the plans to his house and his property. It's probably double that of anybody else I know. So John Blaze is more of a Philippines blogger than most people because of his investment, but also because John is actually married to a Filipina. So John's plans, when his wife, all the paperwork is said and done, she's done her interview in Manila, she's done her psychological evaluation, she's in the Philippines now just finalizing the paperwork for the property, and she should be on her way to America hopefully by the end of November. So what John is going to do is he's going to do similar, our conversation was this morning, similar to what I did with the driver's license, how an American can get a driver's license in the Philippines. Well, John is going to do uploads of how a Filipina can become Americanized by getting a driver's license, running a business, going out and getting the business license itself, ordering the foods from the suppliers. John is going to show you the opposite of becoming Filipino, becoming an American citizen. He's going to vlog his wife getting her driver's license, filling out the paperwork for the business that they have in mind, several businesses. So that's John's plans, and him and I were talking about that this morning, and then his wife had called up and he had to go. So those are his plans for the next year. Those plans should take effect. Just one more piece of paper on the property in the Philippines, and that's finalized. And then she goes to America, and then she starts. The first thing she's going to need is a driver's license, and they'll document how she's going to get that driver's license. The second thing she's going to need is a business license, and she'll set that up once she gets her driver's license and her passport becomes dual citizenship. So John has all of these plans to make more videos. So I think it would be a good idea if you go to his channel. Plus, you also have to understand that John has been very generous to myself with Super Chat, especially yesterday. I had a laugh because what John donated to my channel yesterday, I would have done for free had he asked me. But what I do have a query for John. I mean, he gave $10 as a donation just for the heck of it. Let's take a look at that donation, and then we'll go to the second donation. From when I wait. Where is that picture? Here it is right here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at John impressing everybody in the Philippine genre. So the first donation, you deserve the little fella's Super Chat money. Wait, I have to expand this. I can't see. You deserve the little fella's Super Chat money. No pot needed. So he gave that of his own free will. But as soon as he posted that Super Chat, I grabbed that liter of water that you see in my mouth. I was going to do that for free. And by the time I got that bottle top off John, he super chatted me. Show Frank how to earn Super Chat by drinking, pounding down water, as John Blaze says. So this is John Blaze's way of showing someone how to earn Super Chat money. Now, I pounded that liter down like it was child's play. So what I wanted to talk to John about this morning, but his wife had called him up. I want to go one step further. I want John to really show everybody how much he appreciates Michael Thomas Fazio pounding down liters of water. I want to put 2 liters of water on my desk. And I want John to show everybody how to earn Super Chat. $100 would be a reasonable donation for the first liter of water. And then when I'm done with that, offer me another $200. $200 for the second liter of water continuously. So 1 liter, wait 30 seconds, put the offer on the screen for an additional $200, and I will drink the second liter of water for $200 to show my great friend John Blaze that drinking 2 liters of water could be done for $300 US in less than 5 minutes. Because the second liter is going to take a few seconds longer. But I want to show John what a good friend I am by allowing him to send me $100 for the first liter and $200 for the second liter. And if it was anybody else, for the second liter, I would charge $350. Because that's what I believe it's worth. $100 for the first liter and $350 for the second liter. But what I'm doing for John Blaze, the great John Blaze, is I'm giving John Blaze the cut rate price of only $200 for the second liter of water. And I am prepared right now if John is willing to take the Fazio challenge. Make no mistake about it. I am prepared right this very minute. So, John, if you're feeling spunky and you want to jump on this while the offer stands at only $200 for the second liter. I'm going to allow that to take place. But it doesn't look like John is here. He's still talking to his wife. All that wind I just blew out of my chest for nothing. He wasn't even watching. Or he's just not ready to take a Fazio challenge. Going back to water fast only, day 35. What I can show you is my blood pressure went down from 185/39, which was way, 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 way above and beyond what it should be, down to 131/82, which the doctor at the Department of Motor Vehicles said, that's a very good blood pressure you have, sir. And I said, well, thank you. I haven't eaten in 34 days. And he asked me if I was serious. And I said, yes. And he said, well, that's good. Keep up the good work. So he had no problem with that. So let's get my blood pressure. Now, I know that there are people that don't believe that because we have the Doubting Thomas faction on YouTube. So let me get that particular piece of that document. Let's call it a document. Let's get that document up onto the YouTube screen, because here it is right here. I have it. I'm going to have to just do one thing here. I have to be able to see these in large icons, extra large icons. So I think this is it. Nope, that's not it. Let's see, which one could it be? This one? No. I have the medical, here it is. I have the medical certificate from the Driver's License Bureau yesterday. How do I rotate this? Let's rotate it. Doesn't give me that option. Okay. Why does it not give me that option? Let's see if we could rotate it. Start the slideshow, fill in, edit, open with. Okay, so it's not giving me the rotation, so I'll just show you where it is here. Okay, so here it is. Here is my my driver's license, blood pressure, my face, of course. Let's Michael Thomas Fazio, September 25th, 1955. And there's my blood pressure results, 131/82. Right here, right in this area here. So that's yesterday's blood pressure. And 35 days ago, this number was 185 and this number was 139. So we went down 54 points on the systolic, 54 points. And 139 is 40, 50, 58 points on the diastolic. 58 points. From 139, let's just say 140 to 82, that would be 60. That's 57 points on the diastolic from simply not eating food. Not so much exercise, although I did walk 2 miles 2 days ago, but 57 points on the diastolic. Excuse me. 57 points on the diastolic and 54 points on the systolic. Okay? That's quite an improvement. And you have to understand, 35 days ago I stopped taking my blood pressure medicine because I said Now that I'm not eating food, not eating fat, not eating carbohydrates, not eating sugar, not eating anything. Well, let's see. This is my own concept of experimentation. So let me turn this around. There are things on the page I don't want you to see. Not that it would matter, but I just want you to understand what is possible. Okay? And then here, we'll go right here without showing you my license number. We'll go to the weight. The weight is 104 kilos. Michael Thomas Fazio. Michael Thomas Fazio. September 25th. 104 kilos. 104 kilos, down from 121.5. So that would be 16.5 plus 1 is 17.5. But I had my shoes and belt and keys on my way, so down 103 would be from yesterday, 2 days ago. So now we're at 18 plus kilos, or 41 pounds. So I just want to show you that when I, Michael Thomas Fazio, say something, it is in fact truthful and provable, which is completely different than other people on YouTube. And we all know who they are without mentioning names. In fact, I did a little experiment this morning where a particular blogger stated that these pills that one of my subscriber bought me, Magnesium L-Thornate, he bought 2 bottles. Magnesium Lima Thornate, Magnesium Thornate. These are 2,000 milligram capsules. There was a blogger out there. See the word 2,000 right there? Where is it? Right there. Let's get that on there. See, it says 2,000 milligrams. There was a blogger on here that he made a mistake, a terrible mistake at that. He said that if I took a pill of magnesium at 2,000 milligrams, I would immediately have to have a bowel movement. So what I did was I tested the waters. I took 4,000 milligrams of magnesium because I actually want to make a bowel movement because it's been 6 days. So I actually want to have a bowel movement. So I took 2 of these, hoping that his knowledge of vitamins was accurate. But after taking 2 of these at 7:30, I was talking to Scott Del Fuego. 2 of these I took at 7:30. Scott saw me. Nothing happened. So maybe it's because I'm on a water fast, but I didn't have a bowel movement. Unfortunately, I want to have one. I need to have one. I've been eating the inside of the calamansi for the fiber, and I really deserve to have a good bowel movement because, you know, that's one of the few things that you could really enjoy in life is intake of food and the expiration of the used products. It's a very, sometimes it's a very pleasurable thing. Sometimes it's all we got. I mean, the fella that explained that if you take those 2,000 milligrams of magnesium, he does know about vitamins. There's no doubt about it. And he probably is right about taking magnesium and having a bowel movement if you're eating food. So the only thing I could attribute it to is the fact that I'm not eating food. Therefore, there is no food to have a bowel movement. Although he disagrees, and doesn't believe that I'm not eating food. But there is a way that we could solve that problem. I could go to his house and live with him for a week, and he would see that I only drink water, and he could monitor my water intake for a week or 10 days, and then we could, we could talk about vitamins, and we could talk about bowel movements, and we could talk about nutrients, and because he knows a lot about vitamins, so there's no doubt about that. He's got the vitamin knowledge, 45 years in the vitamin taking business. I just started only 2 weeks ago with a multivitamin for the first time in my life. I've been taking one multivitamin every day, but then I got the knowledge. I got the knowledge 2 days ago that these Kirkland vitamins, they're not even good vitamins. So if I spent 10 days with the vitamin expert at his house, he could monitor my vitamin and my nutrient supplement and whether or not I eat food. He could monitor. And then after 10 days, he could make a video saying, yeah, that Michael Thomas Fazio, he didn't eat food he was in my spare room for 10 days. And him and I talked about vitamins and nutrients every day and minerals and supplements. And he took Michael Thomas Fazio. I watched him take 4,000 milligrams of magnesium L-threonate, and nothing happened because he could come and watch and make sure there was no bowel movement. Not in the room itself, but I could go into the room, to piddle, and then he could go in the room after I piddle, and then he could check to see if the water is brown. I mean, 10 days, me and my vitamin expert, we lived together for 10 days. That will solve the problem whether or not I'm eating food. That's my solution. I think it's a great solution. Let's go back to the comments now. Well, I could. Understand, Scott Del Fuego says, understand that Michael Fazio is a subset of a population. Oh, okay, I read that all wrong. Understand that Michael Fazio is a subset of the population, period. A man with knowledge and skills more rare than any earthly treasure. That is why he can attempt the breatharian lifestyle. Oh yeah. The doctor okayed 3 more days. Today is 1 day, 2 more days, and we're going to do the breatharian lifestyle. It is not for any common man. The breatharian lifestyle, there's only 11 people in this world that are breatharians. If I am successful, will be number 12. I have trouble saying that because I would be the 12th person in the recorded history, to go to Australia, to go into the booth for 10 days without any food or water and not eat food for 10 days and not drink water, just breathing. They have a booth set up for that in Australia. But I could bypass that booth if the vitamin expert in Cebu would allow me to live with him for 10 days. He said he had a spare room that's bigger than my house, bigger than my shack for sure. So I could live in his spare room, and of course he couldn't, if he wanted to monitor me 24/7, he could put a cot up in the spare room. He could sleep on a cot in case I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. He could check for brown water because it would be his prerogative, his house, his cot, his prerogative to check for brown water. And then if no brown water came out, then he would know that I'm not eating food. But again, it's possible to have a bowel movement, but I just haven't had one in 6 days. even though I feel a little strange sharing that with you people. When you don't eat food, you don't have bowel movements. Now, even though I ate some of the meat from the calamansi, not enough. Not enough. I'm going to have to uptick my calamansi meat intake soon. What else did Scott Del Fuego say? Lewis Pagan Potts. Oh, Lewis is breaking chops. Fazio has to be eating! Exclamation point. There is no way he has not eaten in 35 days, unless he is an alien, like a lizard people. The little fella is a nervous wreck. Mike, admit you started fasting just to annoy the little fella, and it is not working. So, no, I stopped eating food to lose 100 pounds because the vitamin expert said that, well, he said a lot of things that he wanted to do to me, but he wouldn't do those things because he would be afraid of my weight if I sat on him, that I'm 100 pounds overweight, and he would be afraid to get into it with me because I weigh 100 pounds too much, and he would be afraid of me sitting on him. He said that. So indirectly, I'm making this diet because the doctor said you need to go on a diet, and the doctor said you need to lower your blood pressure, and the doctor said if you don't lower your blood pressure, you're going to be in the possible danger zone of high blood pressure. And I had high blood pressure. The day that the doctor took my blood pressure, it was 185 over 139. But when I took it at my house the day before, it was 189 over 145. It was much higher. And I hadn't taken my blood medicine. The day the doctor took the blood pressure at 185 over 139, I had taken that blood pressure medicine 2 hours before I went to the doctor. So I said, maybe the doctor's right. But a side issue is that fella said that if I lost 100 pounds, he would not be afraid to get involved with a legitimate announcement to rent a ring in Cebu and have a doctor and a bell guy there, and he would not be afraid because then I would be a normal weight. He said that as long as if I lost 100 pounds, then I would not be afraid of getting sat on. And I took it as that if I lost 100 pounds, he would agree to do the things that he said he was going to do to me in a boxing ring. Not MMA, boxing. Unless he wants to go that route, we could do that too. That would be okay. But a regular boxing match, because he's got these wild hand movements. He's a very, very talented man. There's no doubt about that. So, the first and primary reason was the doctor said you're in the danger zone with your blood pressure. And the secondary reason is the fella said that I would be afraid of getting involved with him, Fazio, Fat Fazio, he called me, because he would sit on me. Well, now, when I lose 100 pounds, then there should be no fear, except fear itself. That's all I could say about that. But he set up the parameters, and I'm going to abide by the rules. I'm going to lose the 100 pounds, and then I'm going to write up a contract where on a certain day we agree to meet 90 days from that date at a certain ring, boxing ring in Cebu, and we agree to give each other 90 days to prepare for the bout, whatever it takes, however much effort you want to put into it. And then when the bell rings, I'm talking about the bell, look at this. I cleaned the pot. The pot was really dirty. Look how shiny this pot is now. I can't believe how dirty the pot was. I had to take it outside and scrub it down. Look how shiny it is. Yesterday it looked like this, brown. I'll give you a free ding. Oh, round one. Round one. Contestants on the ready. So it was his parameters. Lose 100 pounds, and I will take the Fazio challenge. He said that. Indirectly, he said that. He said that he would not be afraid to do the things he said he was going to do to Fat Fazio, but he was afraid of Fat Fazio because Fat Fazio weighed 100 pounds, and he was afraid of getting sat on. But if he lost 100 pounds, I wouldn't be afraid. When I lose 100 pounds, I'm gonna make that offer again. Go ahead, make what you want of that, but that's gonna happen. I can offer you a certain amount of money to take the Fazio challenge, the Fat Fazio challenge, the ex-Fat Fazio challenge, and you could take the challenge or decline. It's up to you. It's totally up to you. But of course, that will tarnish your good name, in my opinion. Your good name, because you said you were going to do something. If I lost 100 pounds, and if I lose 100 pounds, your constituents, your flock, your followers, your fanboys will want to see that take place. So it won't be a burden off of me, because I don't personally care if I win or lose, because it wouldn't be the first time. All I care about is if you'll take the challenge and make the agreement and then show up on the given day without some lame excuse, because we all know that you bought that excuse program. Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that there's a program you can buy? Right now, it's an app. You can put it in your computer. What do you need an excuse for? I didn't do my homework. The dog, and then the program, I didn't do my homework. And the thing, it'll give the 10 most popular excuses. The dog ate my homework. My father has my books in his car, and he went to work. It rained on my homework, and I had water ink, and I lost my homework assignment. I didn't do my homework because my glasses were lost. I left my I didn't do my homework because my glasses were in my... There's an excuse program now. And there's an excuse for everything. Any excuse you need. I was going to go to the beach, but, and then it gives you, it's too hot to go to the beach today. I went to the beach yesterday. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit cooler. It gives you an excuse for everything. It's an app. You can put it in your computer. Any excuse you need on any given day for anything. And then there's potluck. It has. You just push a button in the app. Potluck excuse. I have a headache. My stomach. I have a bellyache. I wanted to do that, but I woke up late, and that would be a potluck excuse. Or you could do specifics. What will give me a good reason not to go to the beach? The river Styx. That's just outside my house. It rained yesterday, and the river Styx is 12 inches deep and 75 feet long. How can I get to the beach? I cannot walk through that water because the mud sinks down 5 inches. I cannot walk through 5 inches of mud and 12 inches of water. Therefore, I cannot go to the beach. But And then there's other excuses for the river Styx. What is another excuse not to cross over the river Styx? The rope broke. They raised the tariff from one side of the puddle to the other side of the puddle. This excuse program does not have any boundaries. It's a learning, living program. Every time someone puts an excuse up of why they didn't do their homework, or that it's too hot out, or the umbrella, my dog chewed up my umbrella. That's a great excuse to not go to the beach. My dog chewed up my umbrella. I cannot walk around with a chewed up umbrella. That's a great excuse. Nobody ever heard that one before. Lois was going to say something. Simulacron. Lois says, Lois, we got to read Lois. Fazio has to be eating. There is no way he has not eaten in 35 days unless he is an alien, like the lizard people. And then Lewis goes on to break chops. The little fella, I got to go back. I got to read this off the big screen. The words got really small there. I don't know why. The little fella, okay, I have to refresh this page. Lois is talking about the little fella in the chat. Okay. This is day 35. No, this is today's. Okay. Where is my chat? Okay. Lois. So, okay, that's simulacron. Lois says, Fazio has to be eating. There is no way he has not eaten in 35 days, unless he is an alien, like the lizard people and a big smiley face. And then Lewis goes on to say, the little fella is a nervous wreck. Mike, admit you started fasting just to annoy the little fella, and it's not working. LOL. Lewis is breaking chops. Simulacron. Oh my God. Long time no see, buddy. Simulacron says, Simulacron being sarcastic, you need to be 8 years old to be able to live without him. I don't know what that means, but that's Simulacron's idea of truth, justice, and the American way. I almost slipped. E.T. Travel Freely. Hello, Alpha Fazio. Good afternoon, E.T. Travel Freely. If somebody can get E.T. Travel Freely's link, well, you know what? I'll get that up there. Hold on a minute. I think I could do that. I'll get his link up on the channel page. E.T. Travel Freely has a channel where he does. What country are you in? I know he's not in America. He's not in the Philippines either. Let's get his channel up there. He has videos of foods, of fish tanks, that looks like a cocoon, flowers. Wow, he does macro photography. And then here's some chicken basil, chicken with fresh basil agate. Crayfish videos, hydroponics, jackfruit, in curry coconut milk. Yummy. Feeding my fishes. Let's take a look at that. I like fish. So he has a fish pond. Looks like a pretty good sized pond. Very nice. A lot of work. So let's get ET Travel Freely's video link up on the page here. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We did Simulacron. You need to be 8 years old to be able to live with him. Oh my God! Now I understand the humor. That is some dark sarcasm, Simulacron. Now, my God, a man of your stature. Fazio did not have a bowel movement. Oh, you guys, you're never going to live that down. Fazio did not have a bowel movement because you are not full of it. For dodo birds, if it makes sense that any vitamin it takes would trigger a bowel movement simply because dodo birds are full of it. Well, no, the magnesium, Lois, you gotta give them credit for that. This magnesium product here, Scott Del Fuego said, I asked Scott this morning, would the magnesium give me a bowel movement? And Scott said it could. And then he went on to say that milk of magnesia is magnesium, and milk of magnesia will give you a bowel movement. So, Lewis, it is true that the dodo bird knows about vitamins. It just doesn't know about the consumption of vitamins and bowel movements when added to the fact that I'm not eating any food. So I don't have a bowel movement because there's nothing to move. Then Lewis goes on, probably with some more misinformation. Dodo birds can go months at a time without eating and still have a bowel movement 3 times a day. It's in their DNA. They are just full of it. Cole. I do have a male. Cole Alzheimer's. Cole Amanese. Fazio eats. A little orange man says so. Always with the excuses. So let's go here. I actually have a video mail. I have a mail. I'm going to give you not who sent the mail, but I'm going to give you 10 animals that can live without food. And here is the link. I'll put the link up. And this is the link. I'm trying to copy the link for you guys. Let's get over here. That's not where I want to be. And this is where I want to be. Let's get this link. This link was sent to me in the mail a week ago for 10 animals that can live without food. All right, we got to get that in my description box. I'm putting it in my description. Well, I could do that later on. Okay, so let's get the 10 animals that can live without food. Okay, This was a great article. Thank you very much for the person that sent this. 10 animals that can live without food for months. A turtle, this type of lizard frog, a camel, a penguin, and 2 others. So the camel can go 40 days without eating food because in its hump, which would be my belly stored the fat. A camel's hump stores the fat. A camel can go 40 days. Certain snakes for an entire year. Certain snakes for an entire year. Right here, says it right here, 1 year. A shark, 8 to 10 weeks. Penguins, I think it was 3 months. Yeah, 2 to 4 months. Penguins can go 2 to 4 months. And this little lizard can go 10 years. I remember that. 10 years. This little amphibious type of lizard can go 10 years. That's a man after my own heart. This particular type of frog, 16 months. And of course, crocodiles can go to 3 years. 3 years without food. 3 years without food. Crocodiles. That's quite a long time. And I think this is number 9. Spiders can go 3 to 4 months. And a bear can go 100 days. So that link was sent to me by one of my friends on YouTube, who kind of has knowledge in many, many different fields of endeavor. So Louis Pagan Ponce, Cole Amanese says, Fazio eats, a little orange man says so. Scott Del Fuego's always with the excuses. Well, there's always a fallback excuse for everything. In fact, everybody has that ability, but very few people have the low moral bar, so to speak, to use an excuse every time they realize they made a mistake. Not everybody is willing to make an excuse. Some people just admit when they're wrong. Other people double up. And of course, those people that double up, they are just building up the anger, the angst within their soul. And their soul gets darker. If you could look at the aura of some of those people, it would be browns mixed with black clouds and some dark purple. That's a negative aura. Maybe some green for envy. Yeah, those people that can't admit that when they make a mistake, even when it's proven, like for instance, there was a guy, somebody said, well, I'll go to that in a minute. Lewis says, Mike, you should have disclosed that you were born a shark whisperer to all of your followers before showing that dangerous scuba diving video with you underwater. It's not right, I tell you. So that dangerous scuba diving video, talk about excuses. Somehow, somebody's twisted little mind in the deepest depths of his fantaside and fantasies came up with the excuse that those sharks were friendly, docile sharks, and they wouldn't be able to bite your hand because they're not aggressive. But more than that, I had nothing to worry about because in the sidelines, there was a guy with a little baseball bat 30 feet away that if the shark ripped my hand off, he would come over and hit the shark on the nose. Cole, that's right, Lewis. I should have told them I was a shark whisperer. It's my fault. Wait till I show you the video of Nanai that was made about me stealing Nanai's super chat money. Cole Amanazzi, any group of sharks in a frenzy is very dangerous. A black tip or reef shark, even tiger or white, could easily infiltrate the swarm. That's true. I never wanted to bring that up because it didn't happen, and then that would be me making up stories. But being that Cole, Maniz, a black tip or a reef shark or even a tiger or white shark could have infiltrated the frenzy. That's true. And they exist in the Bahamas. Proof that Mike is a lizard person, just take a gander at the kitchen behind Mike. There's a lizard. Oh, there's always lizards in here. They control the bug population. I probably have 10 or 12 full-size geckos and at least 4 proper geckos. The big ones, the ones that are like 10 inches long, they come out at night. They don't come out during the day. You see the lizard? Yeah, there's a lizard right there on the floor. Oh, I got lizards. I got lots of lizards. You see him? Right there. Center screen. See the little fella? Right there, baby. He's waiting. He's waiting for lunch. He'll move in a few seconds. There he goes. Yeah, there he goes. He either sees something or hears something or says, this is not a good place to be. Yeah, I got lizards. There's at least 3 lizards over there on the floor working day and night to keep my place lamuk free. Lamuk is bugs. And then I got 2 of them about this big that come out in the corner up there and in the middle somewhere. One of them comes over my head and hangs upside down on a board over my head. He's been doing this for years. Same lizard, same gecko. He's a real lizard. He's about that long. He fell down one night. I was sitting here doing something on the computer, and he fell down on my head. I know he's up there because I hear him, so I didn't really get startled. And then he clung onto my head like that. And he stayed on my head for a long time, and he was about that long. He hangs out right over my head. I kind of liked them. We had them in Florida as well, outside and inside, because I didn't have screens on my windows in Florida. I didn't have curtains on my windows, for that matter. I lived on the 2nd floor, 200 feet from the nearest house. I didn't really care if someone looked in the window or not. Okay, so let's go back to the comments. We always have lizards. E.T. Travel Freely's in Malaysia. Well, thanks for sharing that. I knew you weren't in Vietnam. I thought you were in Thailand. Now that you say Malaysia, I remember that. E.T. Travel Freely says, thanks, Alpha Fazio. Just listening to Burn Time today. A lazy Sunday. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, we only have 5 thumbs up. Dennis Adams would be very upset about this. You guys need to... Time sack, baby. Time sack. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Not that I care. But I'm going to push the thumbs up on my own video. There you go. 6. Lewis says, you have not eaten in 35 days. Nothing to move. My point exactly. There's nothing. Well, I did talk to a snake dietitian. I did talk to a snake dietitian. Snake dietitian. And I said about 7 or 8 days ago, I did have a bowel movement. It was not much, though. I don't know how much it was. You know, I'm not going to... I know that my subscribers want to know a lot of information. I'm not going to weigh it out. I'm not going to strain it. But it wasn't much. But it was brown. It was brown. And I put the query into the Snake Diet website. And I said, well, I had this first time bowel movement in like 5 or 6 days. But it was kind of like a chocolate syrup thinned out with a lot of milk. And then the only difference that it was different than chocolate syrup is those darn seeds from the calamansi. They shoot out like little projectiles. So I saw those. I heard them hit the side of the toilet. Yeah, they were coming out. Because when I did have the bowel movement, it was under pressure. Did you know that the vitamin expert, do you know what he does every day? He keeps track of 10 or 12 or 13 different vitamins that he consumes, and he knows how much of one vitamin to take in conjunction with another vitamin, and how much, what kind of tea and turmeric and all of that stuff he knows. Or it sure sounds like he knows about that stuff. But the magnesium, he didn't, but without eating food, his knowledge of magnesium L-limethiorinate is lacking. Because this is the 2000 magnesium pill. I took 2 of these to test his theory. Because I was really looking forward to a bowel movement. So I took 4,000 milligrams of magnesium. Nothing happened. Now, he may not believe me, but then, of course, I made the offer to go live with him for 10 days. And he could, during the day, we could pal around together. And then at night, I will go into the spare room and he could sleep on a cot. And then if he sees me going up to the CR, he can get up with me, and then I won't flush, and then he'll know that there was no bowel movement. And for 10 days, the 2 of us living together, then he'll see Fazio didn't eat food for 10 days, and Fazio did not have a bowel movement, and even I'll let him watch me eat the magnesium pills, and hopefully I have a bowel movement. I'm looking forward to that. I can't tell you that I'm not looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward. I remember my last one 7 days ago. It was a lot of fun. It was a blast. Thank you, Coffee House, for the thumbs up and for stopping by. So, that's what I have to say about that. And let's go. There is the vitamin expert. He did do something that was a little bit disheartening about a week ago. He made a video he made a video. Hey, Bill Smith, thank you for stopping by. We're talking about the vitamin expert, the YouTube vitamin expert in Cebu. Right now, he says I've been eating food for 35 days. He also made a claim this morning that he estimates that if I continue up until approximately the 50-day mark with no food intake, water only, which reminds me, I'm thirsty. Water only, that in 2 weeks, he estimates my passing. Which, Bill, as you well know, is wishful thinking on the vitamin expert's behalf and projection. He always looks for a chink in everybody's channel, armor, name, livelihood, especially these next two, their income and their weight. He's always looking to knock somebody down because, as Elliot Gould said in that movie, what was the name of that movie? The Dirty Dozen? Always with the negative. Always with the negative. He was flying the plane in the movie, always with the negative. That guy he's a negative type of guy. So we're going to go now. I'm going to show you Dennis Adam. Dennis Adam recorded a video by the vitamin expert stating that I stole, I robbed, I glommed, I snatched Nanai's 6,000 pesos in Super Chat, even though I have multiple videos of me giving Nanai the money. He actually made a video. He created an entire video, total fraudulent statements. And the name of this video is none other than Yellow Man Kept Nanai's Money. Now, why would somebody make a video knowing it was a lie from the get-go, saying that I stole Nanai's money after the fact that I gave Nanai the money? How twisted and deranged would a blogger have to be to make a video saying that Michael Thomas Fazio stole Nanai's money after I showed the video of me giving Nanai the money? So I collected the money. I made a video of giving Nanai the money, and this twisted blogger made a video saying that I stole Nanai's money. Well, let me explain to you why he does that. Number one, he's an angry man. His angst and his inability to control his mental faculties, and that's getting, in my opinion, worse on a daily level. His inability to control his anger is getting worse, and his inability to comprehend reality is starting to fade away. Soon, I don't know how long, but people like him, they are known as batteries, Batteries, Philippines batteries. If you don't know what that means, it's a good thing, not being a battery. But soon he will just be a battery in the Philippines. I've seen that happen to a doctor who had Alzheimer's disease. He became a human battery. And him and I used to go swimming together. We used to sit on the porch together. We used to chat. And then one day, he had a girlfriend. Hey, little fella. The little fella came down. He had a girlfriend. And his Alzheimer's disease, over the course of the 6 months or so that I knew him, it got worse on a daily basis. Fast, it got worse. And he was a real doctor. And he didn't remember who I was. And then the girl took him to her house somewhere in Bohol. And we never heard from him again. And my landlord explained to me that he is now a battery, and then explained to me what a battery was. And it's not a good thing, but that's where I see this man in a few years, because his ability to comprehend reality just is not there anymore. I mean, look at this ridiculous video that he made. It's ridiculous. Yellow man kept Nanai's money. Well, why would you say that? It's not true. So here is proof against that. I have to say this: always consult your doctor before changing your diet. And this is going to be in the description box of today's video. Let's put it in here. Let's get it in there right now. I'm going to pin it to the top of the page. Put that there, and we'll pin it to the top of the page, because that angry man, he also has a propensity to go through everybody's videos and to find fault with them and flag them. Filbert in the Philippines. Whoa. I'm gonna say yes, but first I'm gonna read Simulacron's comment. I'm gonna say yes, Filbert in the Philippines. I've heard that story. Simulacron is a man that knows. Actually, he knows about construction. He said some people live in a 3,700 square foot house with multiple secret floors in the floor plan to supplement lacking square feet. Now, we've had this discussion before. This is what I mean. There's a man that believed he lived in a 3,700 square foot house, but the man actually lives, to the best of my research and Simulacron's research, because Sim actually did the Google map thing from the sky, the plat, P-L-A-T, the man lives on is 3,700 square foot. That's the fence line. The house itself is closer to 1,500 square feet, less than half the plat. But he adamantly refuses to admit that he's wrong. And that's okay. He doesn't have to do that. But he is wrong about that. And no amount of videos or no amount of backing up his story with excuses that I don't have the plans for the house, but when I get the plans for the house, I'll prove you all wrong. You'll all be eating crow. I would be of the mindset that he has the plans. He sees he's wrong. He's never going to show you the plans. That's what I would say to Simulacron. I believe he has a copy of all the paperwork that he got with the house that he bought. And I believe that came as part of the sale package. So he knows that he made a mistake. He refuses to admit it because his anger And his pride will not allow him to admit that. That would be my best guess. Now, Filbert in the Philippines, you are going back in time. Because I remember hearing this story years ago. Filbert in the Philippines says, Mike, did you ever hear of a man that had inappropriate bestiality based on relationship with his own female dogs? And I will say yes. I've heard of that occurring with men and female dogs, but I've also heard about that happening with women and male dogs. In fact, there was a gang, a motorcycle gang in Queens, New York, that was their initiation. Both of what I just said was their initiation. So they had to do that. So yes, I've heard of that bestiality thing. And then, let's see what Scott has to say here. It is about that if you count the floor, ceiling, and exterior roof as usable space. No, Scott. No, Scott, no. Living space in a legal survey, living space is only air-conditioned or heated space. So if you have a foyer area that enters the house that's 10 feet by 10 feet, even if it has windows, if it's not heated or air-conditioned, that does not count. Soffit space outside the perimeter of the parapet walls does not count. Attic space does not count. Staircases do count. And closet space, I believe, counts. But if the space does not have AC or heating, it doesn't count. Soffits don't count. Attic space doesn't count. That's how it works. Well, you know what, Scott? The anti-gravity boots. Oh, my God. But you would have to have anti-gravity boots to use the ceiling. Remember that? Come on. Oh, God. Remember the way things were. With the anti-gravity boots. I'm going to have to make up a song right now. Scott, memories. Remember, the anti-gravity boots was 2016. You're going back 7 years, buddy. When I went and retrieved my pot from New York City, that was the anti-gravity boots. Year of the anti-gravity boots. Yes, and remember, my friend Carl Vella went into a hidden cave in the Himalaya Mountains, and he found a secret staircase that went down and down and down into the center of the earth, where it was hollowed out. And then at the end of the staircase, there was many, many chambers. And the chambers were where the judge, the court system, the underworld court system, they lived down there. And the jailer, there was bars, and there was jailers down there for people that lied, for people that made up stories on YouTube. And you would bring those people down into the bowels of the earth and put them into the judge's court. Or the judge would deem sentences against the people that was sentenced in the bottom of the top of the bottom of the top of the bottom of the flat earth. And the judge would sentence them to so many years of hard labor in a cave. And if you were really bad, you had to venture out into no man's land where you could only live with anti-gravity boots, because in the center of the bottom of the top of the bottom of the top of the flat earth, there was a chamber that once you walked out of the area where the court system and the jail cells were, there was no gravity. So if you just walked out without a set of gravity boots on, you would just float away. No one knows where you would go. So there was Michael Thomas Fazio at the exit of the court's chamber selling anti-gravity boots for $1,000. And you could buy a pair of anti-gravity boots for $1,000, and then you could go out and do your prison time of hard labor in the anti-gravity foothills outside the judge's chambers. But also, if you had the wherewithal to understand the full potential of the anti-gravity boots, there was a maze at the end of the anti-gravity boot area. And if you got through the maze like a rat, that's a good way to put it, like a rat through the maze, you could find the exit to the bottom of the top of the bottom of the flat earth. And then you could walk out of the exit and then walk up, not the staircase, but outside where you fall off the flat earth. There's a wall. When you fall off the flat earth, Columbus was very lucky he didn't go just one more mile. Otherwise, he would have fell off the edge of the flat earth. Magellan was only 3 miles from the flat earth edge. And if you have those gravity boots, the anti-gravity boots, you could climb up the wall where the flat earth falls off the ocean. And then you could get back up to the top of the bottom of the top of the flat earth and take off the anti-gravity boots and then put them on eBay. But without the anti-gravity boots, you would just float off into space. And that's where also there's another indigenous population of gnomes. Gnomes, N-O-M-E-S. Gnomes are the actual leathersmiths of the making of the special anti-gravity boots. So anti-gravity boots are not made with human hands. They are made outside the docket and outside the court and in the space of the anti-gravity area. And that's the gnomes that make the boots, because you could only make anti-gravity boots in an anti-gravity environment. So therefore, the leprechauns in Ireland were the actual original gnomes, but also in the deep south, many people had gnomes on their porch that held up the lights, the kerosene lanterns. So if they had guests, the guests could see the steps. There were gnomes in the deep south. Those gnomes are the distant relatives of the gnomes at the bottom of the top of the bottom of the top of the flat earth that make the anti-gravity boots. And that's all true. That's all true. I would not lie to you about the gnomes or the anti-gravity boots. Breaking news. The Bantayan Gazette headline, Cano has a nervous breakdown while listening to the famous Bohol vlogger and hires a survey to prove the home has 3,700 square feet of living space. Hey, Flat Earth Society. You mentioned the Flat Earth Society, and there you have it. Did you hear my dissertation on the Flat Earth? Flat Earth Society. I could put it on replay for you. My old friend Digger. Oh my God, he remembers Digger. Nobody would ever remember Digger. And the anti-gravity boots. Remember Digger? Oh my God, Digger. Even I forgot about Digger. Yeah. That's where Digger was the father of all gnomes. Digger was not only the father of all gnomes, but he was homogeneous, an Aphrodisias. He had both sexes. Digger used to spit out the gnomes without having intercourse. Digger was the father of all gnomes. Digger. That was one of the best skits in the history of YouTube. The Digger, the bottom of the top of the flat earth. Oh God, I remember that like it was that was 7 years ago. The Uni-Twansi were the little people in the Cherokee stories. The little people, that's right, the little people. Every culture has a little people folklore. But Digger was the original mother and father of all gnomes in the bottom of the top of the bottom of the top of the bottom of the flat earth. And from there, the leprechauns, they're not gnomes. The leprechauns, that's where the Irish got the leprechauns from. From one of the Digger's children, the gnomes crawled up the side of the edge of the flat earth, and they popped out in Ireland. Because there's a flat earth in many places. There's an edge. The edge is everywhere. That's why there are so many people in the South Pole, in the Arctic region, preventing you from going too far south, because the edge could pop up at any time or pop down at any time. Damn, I forgot all about Digger. I want to actually film it in the Philippines. Simulacron says, the Uni Swansea. All right, let's just look that up. The Uni Swansea were the little people in the Cherokee tradition. Let's turn this around, and then we're going to do something special. Let's look this up. Let's go over here. Let's see Simulacron with the knowledge. The Uni-Twansi, okay. Native American legends. Wow, that's Simulacron. Native American legends. Yanwi Swansea. The Yanwi Swansdai are a race of small humanoid spirits, sometimes referred to in English as dwarves or fairies. They are usually invisible. Let's get this up on the board. This is important knowledge. The Uni-Swansea are a race of small humanoid spirits, sometimes referred to in English as dwarves or fairies. They are usually invisible, but sometimes reveal themselves in miniature childlike people. The Yunwi Swansdai are benevolent creatures who frequently help humans in Cherokee stories. But they have magical powers and are said to harshly punish people who are disrespectful or aggressive to them. That would be like in the Greek mythology, Yodai. not Yodai, I forgot his name. The name typically literally means little people. Some non-Cherokee people refer to them as the nickname Yunwi or Yunwai. That is an error. Yahweh alone just means person. All right, so the guy who I'm thinking about in Greek mythologist, he's a, what's his name, Yodai? What's his name? Oh, come on. Cut. Okay, that's all right, 119. We're going to have to put this in multiple. It's that guy I'm thinking about in the Greek mythology is Yodai. He's a mischievous spirit more than anything else. Well, thank you for that piece of information. So, bang a pot, make a lot, flat Earth society, Greek mythology. Not Pan. It was a Y word. Yodai, evil, mischievous spirit. Well, I'll just look it up. Put mischievous spirit. Come on, stop. Mischievous, MISCHIEVIOUS. Mischievous. Mischievous Greek mythos, MYTHOS. The Greek goddess of mischief. It's not a goddess. The trickery, a mischievous god, chaos. But what the god, mythology facts. No, it was Yodai. All right, so we need the male god. Who was the male? MALE god of mischief. Loki, not Lodi, Loki is that he's considered the trickster god, known for being neither fully good nor fully evil. Loki. I should remember that because he was one of my favorite characters. Loki is considered the trickster god, being neither good nor evil, since his main aim was always to create chaos. Despite his father being a giant, he is still counted as a member of the Asar, a tribe of deities, including Odin, Frigg, Tyr, and Thor. Right. He was one of Thor's relatives. Loki, the god of mischief. I love doing these live streams where you can teach people some little bit of mythology. Lewis has got another name up there. For a different god of mischief. Pan was also, there was problems with Pan as well, but I don't remember that. Loki is, yeah, right, Loki, Cole, Amanis. Loki is Loci is Loci is in the Scandinavian mythology as a trickster and troublemaker. Loci, thank you. Coyote was an Indian trickster. Oh my God. Loci is Norse, which is Scandinavian. Yes, that agrees. Those two people agree. Thor's half brother, adopted Loci, right? When I was younger, I read all of the Greek mythos in English, and all of the Greek myth. I read it all. I actually read the Encyclopedia Britannica, 26 volumes. I had 26 volumes of the physical book, Encyclopedia Britannica. It was given to me for $250. And the Encyclopedia Britannica back in like 1974. I think it was a little bit more money than that. But then each year I signed up for the add-ons or the anything new information. So there was like 26 volumes that I had. And when I had nothing to do, I would just read the Encyclopedia Britannica. And of all of the Encyclopedia Britannica, I learned a lot. And also read the Webster's 20th Unabridged Dictionary multiple times, from cover to cover, every word in the dictionary. Not that you remember all of that, but I did do it. That's what I would read when I had nothing to read, aside from proper literature. But the Greek mythos with Thor and Hera and Zeus and Hercules, you people think that Hercules and Zeus is something that some Jewish screenwriter wrote about in the 1950s. It's not. It goes back thousands of years. The mythos, Greek mythology, goes back thousands and thousands of years. Those stories that you see on TV, Adonis, Zeus, Hercules, Odin, Titan, all of those stories were all Greek mythology. The Jewish writers just brought them over to television. That was all. I found that amazing because as a child we'd watch Hercules movies and Zeus and all of that stuff. And then when I read it in the Encyclopedia Britannica, I remember telling my Uncle Jay, because he was an avid reader, look, it's all in the Encyclopedia Britannica. He goes, of course, where do you think they got these stories from? I said, I don't know, I thought they made them up. He goes, no, that stuff goes back past Rome. My uncle was well read. So was my aunt, his wife. She wasn't much for housekeeping at all. I mean, no housekeeping at all. And my uncle, he was a submariner. He wasn't much for housekeeping either. But those two were well read. My aunt, who never cleaned the house in her life, she would throw it out or push it to the side. Piles of junk everywhere in the house. I mean, dishes. The dishes would pile up 2 or 3 feet high in her kitchen until the children got old enough to do the dishes. But anyway, she could do the New York Times crossword puzzle in minutes. She had the greatest vocabulary of words of anybody in the family. My Aunt Jean could do the New York Times crossword puzzle. My Uncle Jay, the submariner. My Aunt Rose could do the New York Times crossword puzzle in minutes. She knew every answer to every Jeopardy question. She was a fact. Her brain memorize facts. She could have probably won Jeopardy if she could have got on the show. But she died from MSG, from eating Chinese food with MSG in it. But she died at the age of 50. But she wanted to go on Jeopardy, and she applied for it. But she probably would have won, too. She knew everything. She knew how to do everything except clean a house. Never cleaned. Never vacuumed. Never swept the kitchen, the dog hair. Never did the dishes. But she could do a New York Times crossword. I think it was 8 minutes. She could do the time. If I remember correctly, 8 minutes? Or maybe less. I don't know. She knew every word, forward and back. She could do everything except clean a house. Scott Del Fuego with facts here. Back to the comments. Scott Del Fuego, by the way, is a legitimate owner of a high-end Harley Davidson motorcycle that I think it cost more than $1,000. That's for sure. I'm not real sure of the cost of his motorcycle, but it's a full-dressed Harley, and it costs more than $1,000. It's not a scooter. One of the biggest 1% or biker clubs in the USA and world has a Loki as a centerpiece of their patch, which would fit bikers because for the most part, they're honest and follow the laws. But then when someone breaks the law, they don't necessarily follow the law to punish the law breakers, which would follow along with loci. The Philippines has a large number of mythological-based creatures. Well, there's one. I'll wait for Sims. Lost the stream there for a minute. I have plenty of power. We just had a glitch. I need to get a new modem. Sorry, Snorri Sturluson for Norse historian. The Minotaur, the Cyclops, etc. are all mythological creatures. The Minotaur is a horse, half man, half horse. The Cyclops is a single-eyed monster that guards a cave. Snorri Sturluson for Norse historian. All right, let's take a look at that. Let's get that man's link up there for those of you who wish to study a little bit of Norse history. Who was he? All right, let's get this in as we can. Let's get, I have to do this in two. Yeah, she was really smart. She was brilliant, but she never cleaned. God almighty, that house was dirty. But she was a good cook. She was actually the best baker in the family. She could bake bread, cakes, pastries, but she didn't clean anything, man. She would leave a pile of dishes. They had a corner sink. I'll never forget this. They had a corner sink, and on either side of the corner was 2 foot of counter space on the right, and then there was a stove, and on the left there was 4 foot of counter space. to the left of the corner sink. And then there was a door, an exit door from the kitchen. That woman would have the entire left side and behind the sink full of pots and pans. And this could be weeks of a compilation. And then she had 2 daughters and 2 sons. And when they were old enough, she taught them how to do dishes, and it was their job to do the dishes. She was basically a pig. There's no doubt about that. Oh no, she could do the new. She would buy crossword puzzle books and do them in a day, the whole book. She was brilliant like that. So let's read about Snorri. Who was he? Snorri was the primary compiler of the North myths. Secondly, he was an Icelandic politician, historian, and writer. He was the author of Prose Edda, which is the aforementioned compilation of Norse myths in prose form, as opposed to the standard poetic form. I don't know what prose form means. Let's take a look at that. Prose format. Okay, in writing, prose is a style used that does not follow a structure of rhyming or meter. Rather, prose follows a grammatical structure using words to compose phrases that are arranged into sentences and paragraphs. It is used directly to communicate concepts, ideas, and stories to a reader. How do you write in prose format? Avoid cliches, be accurate, keep it short, trust your reader, cull your objectives, mix your rhymes. Ditch the modifiers, let the verbs do the work. Use unexpected words to shock readers into understanding. Just like when I said my aunt was a pig. Unexpected words to shock readers into unexpected understanding. My aunt was a pig. And I said that before I read what prose meant. So I was actually browsing the internet with my verbiage. That's a big word. Verbiage. Yeah, my aunt was she was a pig. There's no doubt about that. Freebird, thank you for stopping by. Freebird is up. He's an avid, Freebird, I don't understand why your cat videos don't get millions of views. Every other cat video on YouTube got 100,000, 300,000, 500,000 views. Freebird has a channel. I think he's got 9 cats. And they're pretty cool. I mean, he's got a cat house and he feeds them cat treats, and they don't do any tricks, though. They don't roll over or sit down or anything like that. But they're cool to watch. 9 cats run around the living room. And his views counts are like 6 or 7 views. I don't understand that. Snorri got snuffed concerning a dispute with another party. Yeah, well, putting it bluntly, Snorri was curt with his words. Curt is C-U-R-T or K-U-R-T. Being a little curt got his ass in trouble. Lewis is trying to teach some Freebird, give them catnip, then they will do tricks. Lewis is trying to instigate a cat feeding frenzy. Right, the Philippines does have. Why am I not seeing that comment? The Philippines does have that. The wak, for instance, wak, W-A-K, W-A-K, wak. That's a Philippines mythological creature, uh, prankster, wak. In fact, I'm looking at a boat that says wak on it right now. There's a boat right in front of my window out on the ocean. I can see it from where I live. Philippines has the aswang. I'll read this to you. I hope that somebody's getting an understanding of how to do research on the internet instead of just being angry that he doesn't actually live in a 3,700 square foot house. There's nothing to be angry about. What there is, what I think you should do is apologize to your audience for giving them false information that you live in a 3,700 square foot house when you actually don't. You're a big man. Well, not exactly. You're a proud man. Well, not so much that either, but you're a vain, very vain man. That's true. You should, for the sake of vanity, you should clarify that 3,700 square foot house. And then you could walk into the party with an ash cut around your neck. You're so vain. You could do a Carly Simon song. You have to think this song is about you. You're so vain. You live in a 1,500 square foot house. Get it through your little brain. You're so vain. Yeah, all you got to do is let me cohabitate with you for 10 days and you can confirm that I'm not eating food and everybody will be happy and you'll be happy. You'll know for a fact. They do tricks. I tell them to go to sleep and they all sleep from 11 o'clock in the morning until 3 a.m. Then, when I go to bed, they stay up all night playing. Good cats you have, Freebird. Good cats. Freebird, you have a wrench, right? No, why don't you have a wrench? You could put the link to your channel. I wish this damn heart would go away. No one ever uses it. Now you have a wrench, Freebird. Now you could post the channel link to my videos. Any of my videos. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna end this live stream in a few minutes. Let's read the description in my box. My description box, and I'm glad that we got some. Oh, I didn't finish reading Simulacron's comment about the different Philippines. Philippines have mythical creatures called the aswang. The tikbalang. Never heard of those. Never heard of a tikbalang. I heard of the aswang. The manananggal. Never heard of that. Mananwanangle. The Bokuna, what? Never heard of that one either. I only know of the Wak Wak. Wak Wak is I get tired. Actually, I know what the hearts do. I don't know. What do the hearts do? Now Sam is going into what they looks like what they are. Okay, so he's explaining what that first one I never heard of is. The Tik Balang. The Tik Balang has the head of a horse. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's the Minotaur in the Greek mythology has the head of a horse also. So you're saying that the Philippines mythological beast with the head of a horse is the same as the Greek mythology of a Minotaur? I think it's a Minotaur. Let me check that out. Let me check that out. The Minotaur. I'm pretty sure the Minotaur has the one with the half horse. Minotaur. Minitor. No. Minotaur. Let me put the word horse after that word, horse. Miniature, no. The Minotaur is a bullhead. Okay, how did I spell that? How come I'm not getting Minotaur bull? I'm not even seeing it in the explanation box. I'm upset about this because the Minotaur bull. Okay, let's look at that. Did you mean Monitor? The Minotaur. Okay, I see. I was wrong. I thought the Minotaur was... Well, what's the one on Hercules where the horse is half horse? I'll just look it up. Minotaur. Let's put it in the description box. I'll look up half horse, half... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I want to look up half horse and half human. HALF. Half. Half horse, half human. Centaur. Here it is, right here. The centaur. That's the one I was thinking about. They have the bow and arrows in the Hercules movie. This is a centaur. Now, do they have these in the Philippines? Centaurs in the mythology? Centaur. What is the word in Visaya for centaur? Half man, half horse. Where's the one in... Here it is, the one with the bow and arrow. In Hercules, The censures have the bow and arrows like that. I always like those. I don't know why. They're always on the side of the good guy in the Hercules movies. And they walk really funny. All right, let's go back here and get the definition of a centaur. A centaur, all right? What is a half-human, half-horse called centaur? In Greek and Roman mythology, a centaur is a member of a race of people who are half man and half horse. Okay, so and this is all the cool stuff that's in the Encyclopedia Britannica. Wow, Freebird. Sim knew the answer. Sim knew the answer. Hey, did I show you people yesterday what I received in the mail? A whole entire box of stuff from Batman. Batman sent me another box of stuff. Let's take a look. I gotta get it. It's a pretty heavy box too. I'm really not even supposed to lift up stuff that heavy. But for you people, and for Batman, I will. I have to get the box. I got it buried over here. Batman! Talking about mythical creatures. Batman is half man and half bat. While we're talking about mythical creatures, I'll read the comment. Batman. Batman. Ding, ding, ding. You guys. You guys, you don't stop. Let's take a look. Batman, unopened, sealed from Amazon. Unopened. I can barely pick this box up. Unopened, baby. Let's open this bad boy up. Batman. Batman. I got a mail the other day saying Batman. 2 more boxes. 2 more boxes of Tico's Simpson clips. I got enough now, baby. Batman, if you're out there. Batman is everywhere, though, right? Batman knows all. Look at this. 2x3 by 2x4. 2x3 and 2x4 framing angles, 2 boxes of Simpson clips from Batman. Batman! And of course, let's just go through the motions. Thank you, Batman. Wherever far art thou. I haven't seen you on my channel recently, but I know you're always in the wings, so to speak. The Batman in the wings. That kind of goes together, yeah? Now, where is the Batman? The logos. The Batman logos is not here. Oh boy. Batman. Where did it go? My Batman shirt. I have a shirt that says Batman, but I can't find it. I put it down yesterday. Not yesterday, but anyway, where is my Batman shirt? Come on. Come on. Maybe I put it away. Well, if I put it away, I put it away. I may have done that. It's not that one. All right, well, let's just go through what Batman says. The Bat motto is always be yourself at the top. But then it shows a big bat, Batman, and then it says always be yourself unless you can be Batman, and then it says then always be Batman. That is like the coolest shirt, but it's a really hot shirt. You can't wear it in the summertime. I wore it once when it was hot out, and wow, it's a really hot shirt. The material. Always be yourself. Unless you can be Batman, then always be Batman. So, well, I'll have to put Batman. I'll have to send Batman a bat notice. I have a wish and a want and a desire. I want to get one of those World War II lights where they shined them up in the sky to show the planes that were attacking. In Germany, they put the lights, they had like an arc lamp that put like 30 million candle power up into the sky. Well, that's what they use in Gotham City to call Batman. I want to get one of those lights from original, like one from Germany, with the arc, carbon arc, and I can shoot up a bat signal into the sky. And then whenever I need Batman, he can come. Like I could be Commissioner Gordon. I love Batman. That was one of my favorite shows. But getting back to the comments, Batman, wherever you are, thank you. Batman. Thank you very much. So let's go back up and see what I missed. Freebird did some research there. Freebird says an Aswang is several different creatures, but is usually a beautiful woman that her top half separates from her lower half and flies through the air and eats babies. Now that I never heard about that one. I never heard that one. And Sim says, yup, really creepy if you research it. Freebird says, I've watched several movies about them. the Aswang. I don't watch, I never owned a television in my whole life, so I never really watched a lot of those movies back then. Bantayan horses, I think, is what he's getting at. I don't think there's any indigenous horses in Cebu. I don't remember ever seeing a horse in Cebu, actually. In Bohol, we have horses. We had horses right here, right down the beach. There's a farm, a barn with like 18 horses in it. Louis Pagan Punt, ding, ding, ding. Are you guys, now, okay, all right, okay, I got that, all right. Freebird is showing a link to his channel right here. Here's a link to Freebird's channel. That was cold. That was cold, Louis. We're gonna have to go back. Oh, so I was gonna show you the videos. I was gonna read the description in my video. That was cold, Louis. That reminds me. Cold as ice is what you are. You and Sim and Freebird. You guys are as cold as ice. So, in my description, always consult your doctor before changing your diet. Well, it's official. My blood pressure has dropped from 185/39 to 131/82, which is now normal without losartan or other meds. I stopped eating food 35 days ago, and I'm under constant doctor supervision who checks my vitals once a week. In 31 days, I have lost 41 pounds and 10 inches off my waist. And now the weight is coming off a bit slower. So I'm going to end up going for 100 days water only, fast, taking only a multivitamin, a snake juice mixture, which I make, with 2,000 milligrams of magnesium daily. I'm also consuming about 5 liters of water a day with or without exercise. That's a constant. So I'm gonna have the rest of this little bit of water here. To me, this is a sip. This is a third. This is 250 milliliters. This is a sip. This is the third bottle, the third 700 milliliter bottle today I had. The third one. I usually drink one a few seconds after I have my coffee. And then one about an hour after that, and a few during the course of the day. So I'm drinking about 5 liters or 7 of those 700 milliliter bottles each day, every day. I'll finish reading the description. So a best estimate will be 100-day mark. I will be about 90 pounds of weight loss at this current rate, starting at 267. And if I lose 90 pounds, I will be at the proper weight of 177 pounds. No matter, at the 100-day mark, I'm going to start eating again with some guests that are coming to Bohol. Nick Fisher, Nico's Experience, Rocky, and Yads, Amodia. We're going to try to get all of those people together and go out to the LOBOC River cruise for a buffet on a barge, a floating barge. We're going to leave the house. It's not going to be CGI because I don't have the CGI program with Mick Fisher and Yads, Amodia. But everything else I do, all of today's live stream, this is all CGI. What the heck is going on here? It's all CGI. Everything I did today. What? You know what I got to do? I got to do it like this. It's amazing. I can't copy that. Okay, let's go back here. Watch this. We'll get this whole line. What a pain in the neck that was, yeah? I hope I'm teaching that the fella that can't figure out the square footage of his house, I hope I'm teaching him how to research stuff on the internet. The least that he should get out is some education when it comes to doing research, because you can do research from your couch if you're a couch potato. Like myself, I'm a couch potato. I don't ever leave the house. The videos you saw of me at the fish market last week, those were CGI. And it's today's water fast with the, oh yeah, the breatharian thing. I have permission to try the breatharian thing. Today is day 3 of 3. So I have 2 more days, and then I'm going to stop drinking water altogether, and I'm going to do the breatharian exercise. I'm going to try to do that for 10 days, just breathing in the air, doing my Zen Buddhist meditation and my Hatha yoga breathing exercises. I'm going to say goodbye. If anybody wants to say something in the chat, please say it now. I'm actually getting tired. I got up at a normal time today, too, 6 o'clock, 5:45. I got up a little bit late, and I'm actually getting tired. I don't know why. I'm not tired, like I want to take a nap. Normally, I'm not wanting to take a nap, but I did have coffee at 6. What time is it now? About 8:30? 12:25. Oh, my God. That was 6.5 hours ago. Was the last time I had anything to drink. 6.5 hours plus 35 days was the last time I had anything to eat. Except for the skins from the calamansi. I had 5 of those, 6 of those. That's 44 calories. That's 6 times 4. 6 times 4 is 240 times 6 times 24. That's 264 calories of calamansi skin. I ate 264 calories in 35 days. And my waist hasn't changed all week. So I guess I'm losing fat and meat from another location. Slim. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know anything. Yeah, that's what happens when you start researching stuff. God, there's so much knowledge to know. There really is a lot of knowledge. I mean, you have people out there that can't do simple math, or take a ruler and walk from one side of the house to the other. Even if it's a yardstick, just walk the yardstick and just keep walking it forward. Rough estimate. On the outside of the house, a yardstick, just 1, 2, and let's say it's 12 sticks. I would say it's 12 sticks. I'd say it's 36 feet. And then go back on the other length of the house, the depth, and I'd say that's about 18 or 21 feet. Let's just say 20 feet. No, that house would be a little bit bigger. That'd be like 13 yardsticks, say 39, 40 feet by 20. That would be small also. I estimate that house at about 1,400 square feet. So what would be 1,400 square feet? 50 by 30? No way that house is 30 feet wide. There's no way. Could be 50 feet long. But I don't see it as 30 feet wide. But it could be, I guess. But it would be simple enough for the man who owns the house to go out and measure it and prove us all wrong. Take your camera. Remember to hold it in the vertical position. Don't put your thumb over the lens. And take that yardstick or a ruler and measure, or even a story stick. If you don't know what a story stick is, look it up. I'm not going to do the research for you. Make a story stick. Make a story stick. You make up enough stories that you can't make stick. So go and figure out what a story stick is and make a 10-foot story stick. Make it easy on yourself and walk off the house and then tell us what the outside measurement of the house is. And then I'll figure out the rest. You put the outside measurement, rough estimate, not the soffits, not the overhang, not the cupola, not the foyer, just the outside measurements of the house. Just rough it out. You don't have to go in and out. And then I'll do the math for you, because I know that math is not your forte. Neither is English or the arts or mythology or traveling. Traveling is definitely not your forte. And there's one thing that is not your forte, that's the truth. The truth is about as far from being your forte as you are from taking 3 vacations a year. The truth is over here, and 3 vacations a year is over here. Over here. The truth is over here, and 3 vacations a year is over here. Never the twain shall meet. We've been here now for 1.5 to 3.5 years. Big vacation coming up. Big vacation coming up. And it hasn't happened yet, but that's okay. You can collect the money for a vacation and not use it for a vacation. It's your money. When you collect Super Chat, it's your money to do with what you please. Measuring with a thumb over the lens is a safe out for the frail little fella. Imagine him trying to pawn it off, putting the thumb over the lens, and he walked out the length of the house. Of course, he could always measure his step. Now, I have a 37-inch stride when I'm doing a walkabout. So if I do 10 strides, it's 10 meters or 10 yards. I can measure a football field. When I was doing it on a regular basis, I could walk off a football field to somewhere between 96 and 103 steps. That's how close my step would be to a meter or yards. All right, well, thanks for watching. So thank you for Louis Pagan Ponce, S. Simulacron, Scott Del Fuego, the Manese fella, Freebird, Flat Earth Society, and a few others. Amping Permi from the Philippines, which of course means take care always. And some of the things that we talked about, the links, are going to go right into the comment section. To the fella that doesn't know how big his house is, if you want, and you want to pay for me to come to your house, I'll measure it out for you, inside or out. I'll give you the exact square footage to within like 10 square feet. If you pay for my trip, I'd be happy to measure out your house free. I won't charge you for the service. Then you'll know, and I'll know, your flock will know, we will know, your following will know, and your fanboys will know. Flying Circus. Hey, buddy. The Flying Circus, I gotta tell you, I'm not kidding. That last video you posted, that's beyond Bizarro. Beyond Bizarro world, that one. The beginning, you could probably get through the first minute of it, but the last part of it, that was psychologically depraved. The last part of that video. I don't know where you get that stuff, and I don't know why you put it on YouTube, but there's a side of Flying Circus that is beyond depraved. There's depravity inside the mind of Flying Circus. Is a section called depravity, and that is some weird shit you had on that last video, Flying Circus. I gotta tell you, I'm not kidding about that either. I turned it off. Mules. No, not the mules. The one with the Chinese girl. It's your therapy. That was weird, man. I didn't watch it. I watched the circus can be a very frightening place. Even that guy with the clown nose, I think you relate to that guy with the clown nose, Flying Circus. There's got to be, well, it's worse than his spernips, way worse than that. Worse than the doo-doo video, hamburger doo-doo videos, worse than that. It's depravity. It's you know what level that is? That's the level of the giant ego in Cebu. That's the kind of level that I actually picture him in that position with the collar around his neck. That would be how, if I wanted to take a guess at his depravity and how deep it goes, I would put it on the level of Flying Circus's newest video. Based on his uploads that he did with his loved ones, I would say that the depravity on Flying Circus's video, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Seeing a picture of the big ego with that collar around his neck. I'm not kidding about that either, because that's how my mind works. It relates. It wouldn't be to anybody I know or like, but it would certainly be to the giant ego. That guy, I picture him with that collar around his neck, and I picture him having a plate job without the plate. And if you don't know what that means, it's probably a good thing. And certainly, that would be the first person that I would put in that, with that collar. Flying Circus was the technical advisor for it. You know, I never saw that movie, the clown movie, It. Yeah, that's some sick stuff, man. That's definitely the guy, the big ego in Cebu type territory. And you people might think I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding about that. I mean, there's depravity there that goes far beyond what we see. If what he posted on YouTube is his idea of acceptable depravity, where people would accept that, and no one did, by the way, no one accepted that type of depravity. If that is his idea of what people should accept from him and his loved ones, then imagine the sickness that goes on inside his mind. To the full level. And Flying Circus posted a video that just fits right in with the giant ego, the giga ego. Fits it right in. When I saw that video, all I said to myself was, the giga ego from Cebu could have been the poster child in Flying Circus's new upload. No problem. No problem. And he wouldn't even mind it if it wasn't for the fact that because of the depravity of videos that he posted, everybody on YouTube went against him except other official mongers. Pretty much everybody burnt their bridge between them and him. So, but I picture his depravity at that level of Flying Circus's new video, and that is a sickness. LOL, Scott. So I'm going to go. Yeah, you want to watch the Giga Ego in drag on Flying Circus's channel? Just substitute the Giga Ego's face for the guy in Flying Circus's video with the Chinese girl. And you'll know exactly what I mean when the time comes. Amping Permi from the Philippines, baby. And of course, Amping Permi means take care always. Scott, Amping, bye-bye for now.